Okay. I think we're live. Let's go to the desktop. That looks like it's live, so let's go here. Hello, plastic people. Last time we left off, we were working on the XY axis and the AB drives. So we got through all of this stuff here. Got the motors connected. Got the end switch in. And we were right here. So I've got the heat sets in. So I guess we can start with attaching the B idler. And go from there. All right. So we are still here. That is going on the, looks like this side here. And tensioner top, tensioner bottom, and tensioner B. There's tensioner B. I don't know if you can see the B on there or not. But that's tensioner B. And then I need a top and a bottom. And there's those. 4M 3x8. 3M 3x8. 3 washers, 2 bearings, one 3x35 and one 3x25. There's 25. There is 35. Get my bit. Battery still looks good. We needed 2 bearings and 3 washers. 2 bearings. I'm going to find the washers again. Washers. 3 of them. 3. It's pretty humid here, so everything's sticking. All right. Not sure what that was. Attach 2 M3x8 on the underside. That is going to be probably easier to do this. Looks like I got them pretty well in there. Or I had them anyway. I can see this being a mite bit fiddly. Nice thing is if I can get them started, there are 8s, right? 3x8s, M 3x8s. And once they're started, I can move the piece where it needs to be. Just getting this one to catch is not the easiest thing to do, it looks like. Just another little fiddly bit. There we go. And that can go all the way to the front now. And on the underside, and that's where it's at. So front stopper's right in the way. There we go. Got that on. Okay. So we've got attached front tensioner, so now we need to assemble a bearing stack. Okay. As usual, that'll be, we're going to use M335, so the longer one will be the one that goes through in the end. So let's use the short one here to get my bearing stack. And as usual, it's washer, bearing, bearing, washer. We'll get that on there. Tensioner bottom. So this will go. Okay. Double check and make sure I'm reading it right. this will go on here. All right. There we go. It didn't feel like it caught, and it didn't. Now let's get this one here on. Let's see. Well, it does say to get those in first without disrupting. But I think we can put B on here first. All right. That goes through here so we don't mess that up. Do this the same way we were doing it before. Okay. Love it when the bits get stuck. That's what needle nose pliers are for. All right, well. I've got to get it lined up just right. So that I can get this screw in here. Let's see if maybe this other one will work better. They're the same part. I'm sure I reamed it out before. But it sure doesn't seem like it. Or maybe I missed a few parts. That one definitely wasn't reamed out. All right. Let's see if we can get this. It didn't seem to. Almost seems like it's caught, but not quite. Maybe it is. Let's see if we can get this one in. Not quite on either one. That one's out easy. And so is that one. Disrupts the bearing stack. Now let's see if we can get it lined up and not worry about the bearings. I think that'll be easier to do. Alright, that's just not going in there well. Alright, that's built. So if I can get this going, I can get it dropped down in there. Let's go. Says 8s, but let's put 10s in there and get a little extra room for that. If I can start the 10 and hold the nut in place, maybe we can get the 8, pull it back out and get the 8 in there. So there's the 10 for that one. Let's see if we can get the 8 on the other. I've got 10s if that's what we need. And that does not. Seem to have caught. 10s are catching fine. I don't see why the 8s aren't. Maybe they're just not long enough. There's probably an extra 4 10s, so I'm not going to sweat it too awful much. Now we got to take this off so that we can put our bearing stack back in. There we go. We'll just use some 10s instead. All right. Where did that come in? This is the 35. Okay, the 25 goes through the front here. Okay. Now we need to get B on. And that is nice and tight. Well, it looks like I'm in there. All right, let's do this. Take these out so we can squish it down more on the other side and get that pushed through. Make sure our stack's good. It looks like it came loose. And that just pushed one of the bearings out, or one of the washers out. I can see this being a nice spot to have the pin mod. And just to think, I got to do this on the other side still. Let's see how tight that might be for A. Yeah, that still feels a little tight. I don't have anything I can use as a pin to keep this in here, other than one of my, well, that might work. Okay, we are through there. I just have to hope that I'm in there correctly. Alright. I don't want to tighten that one too much. See if we can... Can't really see in there to tell if I made it through all of them. Looks like I may have, but I can't tell. I lost one of my M3x8s, but we'll get that down there in a minute. Okay, that one is in. That one is not. This one goes through here. All right. Looks good from the bearing stack. Okay, so that's in. 1/8. All right. That really wants to hold on to that bit now. There we go. All right, one down, one yet to go. That'll be this side. And it goes the opposite direction, so the thicker end goes underneath. Eights seem to work on the bottom at least. Now this is the top part from the other side. There's just not a lot of screw coming through there. Oh, I remember I didn't have but one set of these last week, and I had to print the other set. That's why a couple of these are a little, why they're not reamed out. Okay, so yeah, milk. So let's see how that goes on the other side. Let's try it with the 10s on here and see how well that works. Well, that caught and went in real quick and easy, so I'm just going to do another 10. Okay, so that's in good. Let's double check. So got that's for that side. Now see the A is the same, except we're putting the big piece on the bottom and the small piece on top. Okay. Maybe the 8s will work on the top there. Move those out of the way. Bearings. Do the 25. This seemed to work okay last time. Probably can't see in there well enough. Let's turn it. So I got the washer on, and then my bearings, and then the next washer. There we go. And that can go there. And got to turn it the other way. So let's see if we can get a decent angle here. There we go. Thread that needle. Although I should have, let's see if we can get it on here first. Okay. That is rather tight, but it worked. I'm hoping I got it through there. I felt something hit me, and I think it might have been more than just the Allen wrench. No, it looks like it's still in there. Oh, I don't see a washer down here. I don't see a screw that I dropped earlier either. Plenty of bits and trash. I'm going to have to run the vacuum. There's the screw. All right, so let's do a larger diameter here. Let's see if we can squeeze it through on a 2.5. just dropped the washer, but it's on the bed somewhere. Alright. There we go. So we do have those. Those are good. Alright. Alright, so let's get this on here. Will that fit through? That won't fit. That will fit though. Alright, so let's see if we can get this on and tight. Maybe this will help a bit. Get that edge a little bit cleaner. It's a little rough from the layer lines. Take a little off. Maybe it'll fit a little bit. It can be snug. There we go. Well, that went a lot easier than the other side. Of course, now I still have to do the 2 screws here, but that was a lot better. So that I'll take. I'll count that as a win. Okay, that's there. All right, now the real fun starts, getting these things lined up right. Maybe it'll go easier on this side. And I might need to use the 10s anyway. I'm sure there's an extra, at least an extra 4 of them in there. see if we can get an 8 started here. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it. That's all right. We'll just use 10s. Yeah, it started right off the bat, so pretty sure that that's what it needed, was a 10. All right. So that should take care of getting us through to here, and Z bracket and miscellaneous parts. It says 3x6. 3x6. I've got the spacer already in place. Do not know how good the angle may be on this. You can see I've got the spacer in place there. So we need spacers in, bracket left, bracket right. I've got those. I've got the Bowden, and I've got the umbilical mount. So spacer is in between. Bracket right. And bracket left. Okay. And we need 3x6, it says. Okay. So here is that piece. I don't recall it telling me to put the screw in there, or the nut in there, on either side. And I sure don't see it. There's not enough room there on that bracket to get it in there. Pretty sure I did get the ones up here in, though. Where is... Alright, there it is. I did get these two in here. There are those. Those are 8s. Those are 10s all over the place. It said I needed the 6s. Before I do that, I'm going to see if I can get two. Two nuts. Well, I see one there, so maybe there is another. So there's one. see if we can catch it. So that we can access it. And there might be one on the other side then. May just have been one of those that I couldn't see it because it was down in deep enough. Looks like that might be the case. All right, so let's... There we go. That was what it was. It was just down so far I couldn't see it. Let's see if I can catch it now. There we go. All right. Sixes. Let's get those 10s out of the way. Cap these off. I can see these being a bit of a pain to get in, so let's see if we can get these two lined up first. If I can get those two lined up and then get these mounted on here, then I can slide those up and catch them from the other side. This is in the way, but we'll deal with it as best we can. All right. Let's see if this works. That is this side here. All right, I probably did not ream these out. May have. And see, that's not going to be long enough. So let's do an 8 and see if that might be. I mean, that's an 8 sticking through. But the 6 didn't seem to have enough length. Well, that could be another problem. Let's go ahead and tighten it down. Try a 6 again, but I don't think the 6 is quite gonna work. As it's barely sticking out there. And it still has to go through the spacer before it can hit the nut. let's do it this way. What I did for the other side is I stuck the little weehaw in. That way when it stopped, felt it, and that should be lined up. And I've already got the screw in here. I can just look at it from up top here. Line my screw up with that hole. Should be able just to screw it right in there. Does not feel like it's caught though. Let's see if we can pull that screw nut back out. There we go. Now, can't see, the angle's all wrong. It looks okay, at least as well as I can see it. Let's back this one off a little bit. That's what that piece is. All right. Love to say that I've got a better view than you guys, but on this, that might not be the case. There's not a good way to see this. I guess I could, let's do that. Let's flip it up the other way. Let's approach it from this angle. I think I can see better that way. Oy. Now, I don't know why that's not focusing very well. All right, well that is in. And of course they went. Let's see if I can catch this one. All right, so this one's here. They said 6s here as well, but again, I don't know. Well, 6s might work better here. The I'm not having to go through the spacer as well. So that seemed to go in. All right. Now I just have to find the nut for this side, wherever it went to. Hoping that is much more magnetic. All right. I'm gonna guess the Trident's not quite as finicky because you can use rolling T-nuts instead of these tiny little M3 nuts that just kind of slip and slide everywhere you try to go. Okay, so that is together for these pieces. I don't want to over tighten them right now because it doesn't say how to make sure that's square. So let's get the umbilical mount done. That'll be this piece here. And they say 3 by 6 on that one. And this camera is not focusing as well as I'd like it to. And I'm just gonna mount this one, and then I can scoot it over to the other one and mount it. Then I can get it into its final place. A whole lot easier. This doesn't have the little centering ridge underneath either. So that helps in some ways, and in other ways it doesn't. And then when your screws aren't ferrous, okay, there we go. Let's ride these. Alright, that didn't work out as well as I'd hoped. Ride this one up as well. Run these up, and then I'll tighten those underneath down. That way it's at least straight with the rod, or fairly straight with the rod. Of course, I can always loosen them and adjust later. Alright. Run this all the way down, keep it as much out of the way as I can. Alright, now to tighten this up, it says centered. It's pretty close. There we go. Now, then the boat in here goes right here. So let's find, we got 2 screws, 2 nuts. I think we can do pretty much the same thing here as what we just did. And that should be the flat face of it, facing the back. And that should be good. Pretty close anyway. There we go. Well, these are straight enough for what I need it to line up as. That should be good there. I guess I could break out the ruler or the measuring tape or the calipers and make sure it's dead flat. But I'm not going to worry about it right now. I can do that later. So now we have those done. So that took care of our AB drives, umbilical, and Bowden mount, along with these clips. So let's see where we're at. That takes care of that. Everything on the XY. So gantry is next. All right. I think we'll get through this, and then that should be it for the night. All right. So extrusion label D, I've got that up there. X-rail, I've got that. M3x6s, M3 nuts. And the rail guides, I've got all of those. All right, so let's move this out of the way. There is our extrusion. And that was M3x6. It says 6 of them. 6 of them. Get some of this stuff out of my way. And here's our little nut bar. Get these started in here. And then I can just slide it on like I did the other ones. All right, there we go. Guides are on. Okay. About 15 mil from the end. All right, well, I've got that. And that's about 15 mil from the end. On one end. There we go. That should be good. It's pretty close to centered. If I need to, I can always loosen these up and adjust. So that's good. Leave those on there so it doesn't come off. Assemble the XY joint. So I need 2-3 heat sets. Those are already in. 3x25, 3x35. The ones I just put up. So 25 and 35. And it says 2 of each. 4 washers and 4 bearings. All right. 2 of each of these. 2 of each of these. All right. Four bearings. 4 washers. All right. These are the levers. Now, let's see. Try to figure out which ones go with which ones. There we go. Looking for the one that looks like that. Looks like a 25, 225. All right. That should be this one here. Okay. Okay. Doesn't match up quite with what I'm looking at. Maybe it's this one. Or maybe it's one of these. Sure doesn't look like it should be one of these. But that's what it is. No? Okay, yeah, that's what it is. It's this one here. So it says 2 M3x25s. Should be in this hole. And in this hole. All right, and then we build our bearing stacks. Okay. Build our bearing stacks, so that's right. Use two M35s to secure it. That should be, got them all messed up now. That might be this one here. Goes that way, maybe? All right, well, let's find one that works. Find out which one works with this other one. And we'll know which one it should be. That should go that way with that one. So this one should go that way with this one. Okay. That doesn't seem right. Unless it goes right in there. Okay. These I think are going straight into plastic. Just want them just tight enough to where they seat down onto that face and nothing more. Those can go a little tighter. Those need to spin freely, and they do. So that's good. All right, so that takes care of that one. Now let's get the right one, which will be the same thing. I don't need that many. I only need that many. That'll be the end of the bearings. Make sure which hole we're going into for these. Okay. Doesn't have the picture for that one. I know it's this one here. Okay, so I know that's one of them right there. Let's see. So that'll go that way. So that'll be this one here. And it should be this one here for my two bearings. Yes, okay. So now we need to build our bearing stacks. All right, bearing stacks are built. Get this mounted on here. Oop. If I can keep from just flipping it over and willy-nilly spilling everything. And dropping washers all over the floor. Trying to line it up, but I didn't get it quite there yet. All right, that's that, and washer will have to wait until later. All right, so let's go in here. All right. And these are the ones into the heat sets, so I don't mind tightening them up a good bit. I've gotten all the screws picked up, so the only thing I'm missing is that washer. I may just go over with the with a magnet before I go through and vacuum. All right. That should go that way, and this one should go that way. Good, good, good. Okay. And I got just a tiny little bit difference. That works. All right. So now we're here. So I need 4 M3 by 8s, 2 M3 by 20s, 6 M3 nuts, and 8 M2 by 12s. Okay, so let's get my 4 M3 by 8s. 4 M3 by 8. How many M3 nuts did I need? It says 6. 2, 4, 6. 3 by 20. I don't see them 3 by 20, so there they are. Two of them, right? M3 by 4 M3 8s, 6 M3 nuts. All right, and I'll worry about the M2 by 12s in a minute. So, I would think we got 2 up on top. Nope, that's not going to work the way I was hoping it would. I just don't have the room to get my fingers in there. So we'll get these in here. Get one underneath. And that one underneath might be easier to do. Try to do it anyway. That one's going to be a lot tighter because of the rail right there next to it. Yeah, if they slide out, they slide out. There we go. And again, you don't want them tight, not yet. We'll take care of that once we get it on. That one doesn't fit. The little one will. Let's see if that'll go in there. Can't quite tell if it made it or not. It doesn't feel like it. It's still spinning. And no, it did not. if this is another one where these 8s are just not quite long enough, because that's not going to go in any further. All right, let's do by 10s again. Right in. So again, here's one of the M38s. Yeah, it should be catching. It looks like there should be just enough of it, but it sure didn't catch. Let's get this this one over there and see if it'll catch on with an M38. Well, that one caught, so let's back out this 10. It doesn't seem to be catching, though. It goes right in, so let's just do it that way. We'll do 1 and 1. I may not have the star bits, the star drive ones, but I've got more M3s, that's for sure. I'm definitely not going to be hurting for M3. Okay, let's see if we can get this one started like we did the last. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's use a 10 and get this first one started. I'll try the 8 again too. In there and okay, so that went right in with the 10. It doesn't look like the parts are any thicker on one spot than the others, so I'm not sure why a 10 would work for one and an 8 on the other and not 8s on both. I mean, that caught right away. So let's see if I can get an 8 in this one. Yeah, that 8 caught, so let's try this one again. That makes almost no sense. Maybe just the way that the part printed, because that one definitely is not going in. Let's over tighten the tin, and maybe I can get a little indent there to let the 8 get in. It's still not catching. It still comes right out. That is just the way it's going to be, I guess. We're just going to have to go 10 on this one. That one catches right away. All right. So we've got that done and that done. Time to mount with the M3 by 12 or M2 by 12. All right. So let's get this stuff out of the way. Two by 12. 2 by 10, self-tap. 3 by 12. I know I've got 2 by 12s. I've seen them. 2 by 12s. There we go. Should be more than 8 left. That one's a little malformed. And that is 9 left. Make sure we get the right bit. That's good. All right. All right. Let's get one started. Over here. All right, and get one started over here. All right, and this is where I need to loosen these up. Slide just a little bit. Okay, I think I might be in there. Can't quite tell. Seems to be acting as if it's in there. So let's see if these other ones will go in. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be in either. Nope, if I can pull it straight out like that, that's not in there. And again, these don't seem to be quite long enough. I mean, that hit and dug in good. Okay, so those seem good. This other side just doesn't seem like they're digging in long enough. They should be all right. They look long enough. But they're not, they're just spinning when they get in there. They're not actually seeming to catch. And that might just be, I might not be lined up quite right. Let's make sure. Well, that moved a little bit. Yeah, they just sit and spin. They're not actually catching. Well, that feels like it caught. I can't pull it out anyway. But it's not bottoming out. That one did. That one doesn't seem to be. Well, they're attached. All right, so and they feel like they're moving smooth. I don't know what I just dropped. I heard something go though. Okay. so that's moving good. Well, I found my washer, and all right, well that one did not catch because there it sits right coming out. Still not caught. Okay, there's my washer. Whatever I did with the washers, they're there. Well, found my washer, so that's good. Thought I heard something else fall, but I don't see anything other than bits of plastic, so I might have been hearing things. Wouldn't be the first time. Let's try this last screw and see if maybe it's gonna catch. Now, that one caught, so maybe there's just something wrong with this other screw. Well, don't think I need it anyway. That's hitting there. You know, it looks like I'm gonna have to de-rack it still. Although it looks like it's square here, but this one's hitting, well, this one's also got the little bump out for the end stop. That might be what the difference is. All right. Well, I think we're going to call it here. Got more progress made. It's tough trying to do these only when I'm streaming and not to pick up and do other times. So we got through here. Motion is pretty smooth. I'll still have to, well, it does look like they're parallel, so I think we're good. Let's go back. So that was the gantry. The bed is what they're calling for next. I'm not going to do the bed next week. Next week we will do, looks like belts and clicky. I do have the parts printed to do clicky or unclicky. I also ordered, probably didn't really need it, but this kit from DFH, that is the unclicky kit, so it came with all the magnets, the screws, the wire, and the heat sets that are needed. I don't know which one I'm going to use. I think we'll put both together and go from there. The clicky, I've got the dock mount printed out with the heat sets. I've got the dock ready, and I've got different pieces for these. Both the clicky NG and the unclicky, as well as regular clickies. So we will see where we go on that. Looks like we'll mount the Y end stop there. We'll figure out where we're going with that. Maybe next week we'll do those. Not much left. I mean, here we've got mini afterburner. I'm really hoping that Stealth Burner Mini hits before. So next week I think we'll work on belts and clicky. Maybe do some electronics work. Try to put Mini Afterburner off as long as we can. That way, if V0.2 comes out within the next couple of weeks with Stealth Burner Mini, we can just go ahead and do that. If not, I do have the front and fan shroud printed out for Mini Afterburner, along with an accent piece for the little salad fork that goes on the inside. So we'll see how that all works out. But next week, 5 o'clock seems to work pretty good for me. So I think 5 next Monday is when I'll start. That's 5 Central Time, which would be 6 Eastern, and 3 o'clock West Coast US. I believe it's 11 o'clock in Europe, in London, if I remember right. We're -6. So if that's going to work out, I'll just stay with 5 o'clock on Monday nights. Maybe push it to back. I might be able to do like 3 o'clock Central Time instead. We'll see how that works out. But thanks everybody that's watching, and I will see you next Monday at 5 Central.